Today, we're just having a little sit down, you and me. Cozy times in the fall, the seasons are changing, we're feeling good. And overall, we are entering a new era. Okay, last video, y'all saw me have a little breakdown, have a little sad pity party moment, and now that all that energy is out the window, we can finally move forward and move ahead and get out of that deep dark pit that we were in. For those of y'all who didn't watch the last video, first of all, y'all should attend the class session, okay? Refer to the Zoom recording and take notes while at it. But essentially, I've been dealing with so much rejection from the art world and just random personal things in my life that have been making me feel low energy, and finally I feel myself coming out of that slump and just trying to nurture my own energies and seeing where it could take me. I know it's very hoo-ha, like spirituality, like typical LA, like matcha latte. Speaking of, but it is true that I think Enya on like Emergency Intercom said it best when she was literally crying and breaking down. But it's just like, you should feel awesome, but you don't feel awesome. Anyways, that is not the focus of this video. The focus is that we are rebuilding. Okay, we're moving up in the world. We're not actually moving up in the world. That has yet to take place, but we're manifesting that in the future. Right now, moving up for me personally is just getting my mentality right and more positive, because my baseline has been so low to the point where I'm like, wait, do I need therapy? Like, I think everyone should probably have therapy if you can afford it, but why did I low-key at first think I was like too smart for therapy? Like, that's how stupid I was. Okay, in high school my parents were like, oh my god, like you need therapy, and like I tried it. I went to a psychologist and then like she scheduled me for some stuff, but then I'm like, babes, like why do I not feel supported here, and why do I feel like I'm too smart for this? Like, I know my own problem, I'm too self-aware. But it turns out that even if you are self-aware, which maybe I'm not, that doesn't fix shit. Because just because you can identify a problem doesn't mean you can solve it. So essentially, I'm stupid. Wow, we are going through so many tangents already. This is actually good. But yes, I have some notes that I wanted to talk about. Not to make this literally a self-help channel, no. That's too corny, okay? But let's just talk about some things that are happening maybe that I'm like looking forward to in the future. It is October, which means spooky season, which also means a new month, which also means, thank God. Since 2024, January, I have not been feeling it. It has not been a vibration. I just felt off, and honestly it's probably because of the heat, because people get seasonal depression in the winter when they're like super cold, it's raining. But because we don't have rain in LA, really, my seasonal depression comes from when it's hot and sticky outside. And it's not even sticky because we literally live in like an arid like desert. But anytime it's over like 85 degrees, I literally start panicking, and that's my seasonal depression, okay? Most people would love it, they'd be obsessed, like, oh my god, LA is the best weather ever. So now that the air is a bit cooler, I'm starting to feel good, like I have a little pep in my step. And in October, I have some really fun and exciting things planned that I'm also very nervous about. We're gonna go chronological order, okay? Something I'm really excited for was I just launched a collaboration with Skillshare, babe. Yes, ma'am. But instead of me telling that, let me get someone else to tell you that, aka me in a different setting. Funny enough, this video is actually sponsored by Skillshare. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Together, Skillshare and I collaborate on an insanely helpful class that helps y'all curate the best art portfolio that will give you the best shot at success when applying to grants, galleries, your dream universities, and more. There's exclusive tips and tricks that I share with y'all on there that y'all should check out. Actually need to check out. For those of y'all who don't know, Skillshare is one of the largest online learning communities there is out there, with thousands of classes led by industry experts in film, photography, design, etc. Skillshare can help you take your career, side hustles, hobbies to the next level. I know a lot of you watching are also interested in painting tutorials, animation classes, design classes, and you can find all of it on that platform. Now, if any of that sounds at all interesting, the first 500 people to sign for Skillshare using my link in the description below will get a 1-month free trial where you can see my class and the thousands of other classes on the platform. So sign up today, babes. Now back to the video. First of all, I just moved out of my entire artist studio. I've been there for 4 months. Y'all know the story already about how I almost got evicted. I didn't get evicted, but then I'm low-key getting pushed out of the studio because they raised the rent on my specific unit because they know people weren't supposed to be there and were there. Like me. So we got out. I moved out today with my studio mates Tula and Ethan, who are literally the sweetest, kindest people. I sublet from somebody subletting from Ethan, And Ethan was a sweetheart and took down like my drywall for me, patched all the holes, and I just had to move all my stuff out, which still took hours. Me just sweating, dripping, and just try to take everything out. That's why there's so many paintings in the background, a ladder. And then over here, you can't even see it, but there's just a ton of canvases rolled up against the wall. So it finally felt good to just get out of a space that I associate with all those negative emotions that I had experienced the past couple months. I think it's gonna be a nice change, and I'm already looking at new places with my friend Jordan. We're gonna hopefully sign like a year-long lease on a place soon, so that'll be really fun, and it's gonna be cheaper than the place I'm at now and nicer. And the community that we're moving into hopefully is gonna be way better, and so I'm just really excited for this new chapter. In the moment when I'm painting, I'll reach for a color and it's not gonna be there. I'll need like burnt umber. I like rummage through my things and I'm like, girl, where the damn shit is burnt umber? And then of course when I'm moving out and cleaning everything and transporting things to my car, I find the burnt umbers. I find random pastels that I'm like, wait, I literally didn't have to buy a new set, question mark, like it was here the whole time. Why did I find like stacks of paper that I could have been using for sketches and I've been using binder paper? It's a whole thing, but note to self, I should be more organized. Honestly, if I kept an inventory of the things I had and put them in places where I could easily find them, why would that be like helpful? Who would have thought like organizing things like actually helps? But it was a nice treat. I was like, damn, I'm getting free shit right now. Like, why am I literally balling out? Like, that's crazy. So I'm feeling rich. My pockets are feeling heavy right now. The search for the new studio is going well. Jordan is practically doing everything, which I feel kind of bad about, but they took the initiative and we're gonna split the space hopefully, so that'll be cool. It is exciting though because I haven't actually been studio mates with someone, because even in school we had like specific dividers and like a private classroom technically, and I would paint when no one else was in the studio. So having someone that I'm in direct space with, I think will actually be good for me. At first I was hesitant because I love just filming videos and talking to a camera, and I personally get very embarrassed like doing that in front of people. So that's why I end up just like turning the camera onto them because I'm like, oh my god, like you talk. But really I just can't do that in front of people. And so I was like, girl, like how am I gonna film my videos? Even with another person and they're like watching and working, you know? I just thought that wasn't possible. Not that I post so much on YouTube that like it makes a difference, but in my brain it does. However, I think it'd be really actually great. I isolate a lot and I'm realizing that's like not a vibe. I thought it's helpful because I'm someone who loves my alone time. I can have fun by myself. I can drive to a fun cafe, bring my sketchbook, bring my laptop, get some work done, you know, apply to grants, and that's like my fun day. And now that I'm saying that, I'm like, wow, like I need to get a life. I'll have to think about that as I go to bed tonight. So having another person in the art studio I think will be really great, just to have some talks, have some crits back and forth, push each other to work harder and make better work and more interesting work. That will be so fun, so fresh. Some more exciting news for this month. I have my marathon coming up next Sunday and I have been working my booty off, babe. My booty has been worked off and I've just been running every single day, except Sundays, for the Lord. Not really. I've been on average running like 10 miles a day, Monday to Friday, and that includes 2 speed workouts and then 3 rest runs. And then on Saturdays I have my long runs, which have been increasingly working up to 22 miles, which I did this past Saturday. Yesterday. Damn, that was yesterday. So now that's the week before the race, I can taper off and give myself a little break. I'm gonna start with a little cute 5-mile run and then slowly like work my way down and then just not do anything. I think Friday and Saturday, just stretch a bunch. So hopefully my legs will be ready for the race. I have been putting so much pressure on myself to do well. Y'all know I'm stressing myself the fuck out because I'm a very competitive person, even though I don't like to admit it because I just don't like to admit it sometimes, but I want to get a good time. But then I saw this kid online who's like, I think a 15-year-old running a half marathon at like a 5:20 pace or something. And at that point I was like, why am I putting pressure on myself? There's like literally like thousands and thousands and thousands of people already better than me than running. Like, why am I like killing myself over getting like a very mediocre time? One, I think personal achievement does matter, and me pushing myself to like a very hard extent is good for me because I just enjoy putting work into something and feeling that, not pain, but like feeling I had to work hard to get somewhere. I don't like easy achievements because then I feel like, what was the point? Like, if it was so easy for me, like, what was the point? But because of all this other stuff going on in my brain cycle for the past like 3 months, I realized that me pushing myself so hard for this one event is almost stupid. Literally in my brain, I'm like, I cannot travel right now because traveling would ruin my schedule for running, and I need to be like the perfect shape for my marathon if I want to get the time that I want on my first try. This whole tunnel vision kind of perspective to life that I've had, it just made me realize how rigid I am, and I want to start to break out to that. If I really want to be uncomfortable to achieve something, I think that uncomfortability has to come with being comfortable for, like, ironically, I'm not sure that made any sense. But if I'm only trying to be uncomfortable to work at something, and obviously that has not worked, like, when else in my life will I have people supporting me and people willing to sponsor my videos that not only align with my vision like Skillshare, but also help me do my creative projects and like help fund cool things that I get to show y'all? When else in my lifetime will I have the opportunity to do that and just say, in my early 20s, I had this cool self-employed thing going on and I gotta travel the world? Girl, that will never happen again. Like, I need to take advantage of this now instead of like sulking in my bed, you know? Although that can be fun too. I love good Netflix show in bed. It isn't a show, but I recently been rewatching all the Divergent series because it's going away on Netflix. And I think the last day to watch it is literally September 30th, which is, I think, when this video is going up. Tell me why I forgot how... Tell me why I forgot how good looking Theo James is. Like, let's talk about it, but people haven't been talking about it because he's in all this other new stuff, including like White Lotus and whatever. But wow. It's almost not fair. You know when someone's so pretty where you're like, I actually hate you. It's just not fair. You know what I mean? Like, to look like Theo James is crazy. Jealous, but also not jealous. Like, my man. What was I talking about? So because I'm becoming more self-aware about my situation, I'm like, I should just start traveling. So I think I'm gonna do a little trip maybe to Chicago or New York or London or Seattle to see my friend Tabitha, who I haven't seen in a very long time. I think Chicago will be good for me because, one, the flights are really cheap. There's a $20 a night hostel there, which is still expensive, but cheaper than what it is in New York. The 6 people in the past 2 weeks have been telling me all these great things about Chicago, how it's their favorite city, they love it in the fall, the art scene's really good, small and intimate, so once you like kind of make your way around the galleries, you can kind of get a feel for the art scene pretty quickly to know if you want to go there for grad school, if you want to move there for a year and just try things out. And when I'm in Chicago, I can just hop on over to New York because the flights are pretty cheap, and I think there's a train too if I really wanted to do that. And in New York, babe, my friend just moved into a new apartment, so I can just stay at theirs for like a week, and then I can go from there and hop over to London and then come all the way back. Like, girl, it's just gonna be a vibration. Watch me do literally none of those things. Like, knowing me, I'm just blabbing on about it, but I think even just thinking about it is good for me because I'm at like ground zero for thinking about travel. It's a big step for me to even just think about it mentally, to just imagine myself in a new place. I'm like, yes, me in London, like chatting it up. What would the accents be? Like, we know what the accents would be, but I feel like when I'm face to face with like a person speaking in like an English accent, I think I'd lose it. I'd be like, girl, like, drop the act, like, drop the act. What are you saying to me right now? But really, I'll have the accent to them. I'm joking. Oh my god, am I gonna get canceled for saying? No, I won't. So besides traveling, the marathon, and a new studio, babe, some of y'all already know this because I posted a couple TikToks about it and mentioned it maybe in the last video, but I have a lecture coming up. Babe, tell me why I literally am speaking at Berkeley. I'm speaking for a capstone class that's for master's students of design. I was approached because someone saw my video of me reading my essay about bottoming on TikTok. And at first I was supposed to teach the students about like writing strategies / modes of communication. Like, why did I decide to read my essay on TikTok? Is there a difference between reading it out loud versus writing it and submitting it in an academic setting? Like, why did I make it more accessible for people on a public forum? That kind of stuff. But as I was writing it, I was like, babe, like, I don't know anything about this topic. What I can talk about is deconstructing academia because, babe, I'm fed up with academia. So now I'm going to the belly of the beast, babe. I'm going to a damn university and telling them how much I do not like universities. And when I told the person who invited me to guest lecture, they were like, oh, okay, you know what, like, let's just go for it. And I was kind of shocked, honestly, but I was so grateful. But because it's supposed to be lighthearted, but also like institutional critique serious, I have to know my shit, y'all. Like, I cannot just be like the dumb TikToker, you know what I mean, like in the room. And yeah, I just want to do well for my first ever public speaking thing, you know? So we'll see how it goes. I'm like prepping my PowerPoint presentation and doing like extra Zoom meetings with the faculty to just see if it makes sense and aligns with their class and I'm actually helpful. Fingers crossed, but that's what I'm up to. Another thing, hopefully, that I'm excited about is that I don't want to jinx it because I've jinxed so many things on this channel. But honestly, now that I've jinxed so many things, I'm like, what's another thing to jinx? I feel like other people, by the third time they get like screwed over after talking about something out loud, they're like, let me just never tell anyone anything and then maybe it'll happen. But in my opinion, I'm like, I've already jinxed 3 different things. What's a 4th? At this point, what's a 4th? If the universe is gonna laugh at me, babes, I'm gonna laugh with it. So let me just speak my truth. Last year, someone introduced me to this amazing, incredible artist, and I actually can't say their name now until this is actually confirmed, but they are curating a ceramic show in the Bay Area, and they briefly texted me like, oh my god, I might be curating this thing. I can't tell you details because I haven't signed the contract yet, but I would love for you to put like a ceramic PP tiger in it. And I'm like, okay, work. I'm like, when would this be? And they're like, 2025. And this was in 2023. So I haven't talked about this project with this person, but then I see them like literally last month because they had a show opening in LA. And I was like, oh my god, what's up, babe? And they're like, oh my god, hey, like, remember the show I told you about? I'm like, yes, like, is that happening? Like, what's it about? Like, can you say anything now? And they're like, yeah, it's like 2025, babe, like, mark the date. I would love for you to have something yet still. So I think I'm gonna have to build like another giant ceramic PP tiger for that. How will I build it? No clue. How will I transport it from LA to the Bay? No clue. But will I do everything in my power to try to make it happen if I need to make it happen? Yes. So that's something exciting but also daunting. And this kind of keeps happening in the art world or creative industries where people will tell you something and then you're not sure if it's true or like if it's valid. So you're kind of just like, okay, I'll just do it and then see if it works out or not. And if not, whatever, I'll just have a ceramic PP tiger. Another thing in this new era, after I finish this damn run, I will no longer be drinking cold brew and coffee. I've been drinking cold brew and coffee because I have to just like get my ass up in the morning, so a quick little pick-me-up is always nice. But after this, I'm switching back to matcha. Matcha is my one true love. When I can depend on nobody else, babe, matcha is there for me. And I make my matcha so good sometimes. So I'm like, damn, I don't even need to buy this like expensive matcha. I can just make it at home. Started drinking matcha for the first time in like a while. It unlocks something in my brain that I'm very excited for. Also, I hate for this to be like a self-care channel. Like, girl, I cannot do self-care. Self-care online is just a whole other kind of mess, especially with places like TikTok where you have TikTok shop attached to it and basically modern day telemarketers trying to sell you things and get commission off of it. Everyone has a self-help hack. Oh my god, like, you don't have a jawline because you're a mouth breather, so you need mouth tape to cover your ass when you sleep. And then you breathe out of your nose and it's way better for you. Oh, you have bad skin? Babe, you need collagen. Get collagen peptides. Or it's like, oh my god, you're feeling bad? Babe, you need this special vitamin. You need this vitamin in your life because it'll change you. Oh, you're looking for new sunscreen? Babes, the Beauty of Joseon has great sunscreen. And now that I mentioned the Beauty of Joseon, babe, have you heard of the Anua Hartley toner? Oh my god, if you heard about that, you'll love the Anua set. The set is the cheapest it's ever been. You're gonna love it for your skin. And it's literally preying off of people's like insecurities to sell a product. It's so capitalist to think that a product is gonna solve your issues. Babe, no, never. Unless it's matcha. There are exceptions to the rule. Like, I've gotten some good stuff on TikTok Shop. I do think Anua is a good skincare brand, and I do think the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen has helped me. Not sponsored, but it's just crazy. It's just next level sometimes on TikTok. You know the girls, you know what I'm talking about. That's not what this channel is, except if it's Skillshare. Babe, we love Skillshare. Because it's actually real people. Because it's real people literally giving real advice. Industry professionals, creatives giving you advice. And you can literally search up anything you want on there. Like you can literally search up figure painting tutorials. You can go illustration routes, design routes, 3D modeling, literal skills. Babe, it's Skillshare. Like so simple, so easy, so fun. Now for the last part of the video, we're gonna do the iconic Q&A. We're bringing it back, y'all, okay? I asked y'all on my Instagram story, give me the tea. What's going on in your life? Do you need any advice? I would love to give you poor advice. We have some juicy stuff to go over, so let's just chop right in. Samantha asks, my birthday's soon. What should I ask for? Babe, ask for a Mustang. Ask for a G-Wagon, some Swarovski crystals, some Loewe. Babe, shoot for the stars, and if you fall, you'll land on the moon. No, I'm kidding. I'm so bad at birthday gifts. I'm so bad at them. I also don't like birthday gifts, really. You know what I would ask for? Theo James. Sorry. That was not helpful at all, but we're gonna have to move on because my brain is breaking. This person asks, I want to do a painting about having an absent dad, but I'm afraid it might hurt my stepdad. I actually DM'd this person separately about some very small advice that I have, while also posting on my Instagram story of a Kim K AI generator responding to that advice, saying that it's a bit too deep to answer.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie, babes. This is kind of deep. Let me think for a bit in my amazing silky smooth Skims outfit on sale now and get back to you.
Luckily, this person found it funny. Thank God, or else I would have like literally deleted it and been canceled. But y'all get my humor. You get it. You get the vibes. On a real note, I don't have that family situation, so it's hard for me to give advice because it does seem very complicated, but I always say that if you have positive intentions, it will breed more positivity. If you have these thoughts and emotions about your absent father, I think it's totally valid to express that in whatever way. And I think that it is already like commendable that you're thinking about your stepfather's emotions while you're going through so much yourself. Like that is so considerate and empathetic of you. And so on that note, just knowing that that's who you are as a person, someone who's willing to think about the emotional well-being of others before your own, when you have to get this stuff off your chest, I think those good intentions will only come back and give you more positive energy. So you know what to do. I say personally, unofficially, go for it. But that's just me, as someone who likes to overshare and do everything. So maybe I'm not the right person for that. Moving on, that girl Maria says, my car got stolen. Please pray for me, girl. Okay, Maria, fine, like I'll pray for you, whatever. So actually that's really sad. I would literally cry if my car got stolen. I need my car for so many things. I honestly like sending you the best because that would literally be heartbreaking. And that's so messy. Like, why are people stealing cars? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's not a vibration, babe. Definitely actually literally sending you like thoughts and prayers. Like, good energy has to be coming your way. Like, I'm sure. Okay, the next one says, this guy always makes me laugh and I'm always looking forward to spending time with him. And I'm getting the same vibes back. But as a trans guy and not knowing if he's bi or not, I don't want to sacrifice self-respect and date someone who isn't fully recognizing who I am and when it comes to gender. Telling myself that feels so self-destructive though because I'm ruining any chance at a happy relationship. Any advice, help me. And they used a Bretttoon sticker pack gif. Yes ma'am. Babes, if you go to Instagram stories and go to the gift section and type in Bretttoons, like you can find some of these fun fresh gifts. I'm awful. In an oblique way, I definitely know what you're saying. Like, when I was doing like the drag show at USC, I was really kind of crushing on this one person and I didn't want them to see me partake in this act of femininity because I thought that they would be scared or scared off, which is so shitty. Like, what a slap in the face to also like the drag community in a weird way. Like, I just felt so much internal shame where I was like, I don't want you to know about this. I'm so afraid that you'll not like that I'm expressing myself in this way. Translating that to this and looking back on that personal experience, I would say it's so scary to like take that jump, but you owe it to yourself to just try, and you owe it to yourself to put your own emotions and feelings and identity first. So if you are able to find the courage to be who you are and still pursue this person, especially if you're getting a similar vibe back, I would say just do it. But obviously like it's so complicated and I personally would be scared. I would be scared. Potentially there could be something good at the other side that will never happen if you don't take that leap. Falling doesn't feel great, you know, but getting caught up in something kind of good and fun, the best feeling ever. I wouldn't know because I've never been in a relationship, but that's what I assume it would feel like. This person said, I reapplied for our school's publication club and went as a photojournalist and a literary graphic artist. After a few weeks of waiting, I eventually got in. Congrats, babe, that's awesome. It's scary though, since most of the photographers and artists from our club are insanely talented. As an artist, I admit, ever since I joined the club, it seems that I feel small compared to them. I feel kind of insecure since the artists I'm with are basically better at art than me. What should I do in order to feel more proud of my art and stop this feeling? So first of all, I totally know where you're coming from. I've definitely felt this way. Emotions of inadequacy or imposter syndrome are really difficult to grapple with. However, I say that there's a reason why you're in the club, and there's a reason why you are in this room and surrounded by other artists. It can be a motivating factor to just level up your work and just learn from them. I think that the more you open yourself up to the possibility of taking in their advice and try to bounce more ideas off of them, that you will be more proud of your work because you'll start to see that it's evolving. And whether it evolves in a way that you like right off the bat or not, it's change, and change is always good, especially if you're pushing yourself to be better and having that intention behind it. Do I think this will stop the feeling? No, I feel like it always creeps back in. And personally for me, imposter syndrome and just general feelings of inadequacy will always come in, but it's about suppressing it for a hot sec and just sitting in what you created and looking back with fresh eyes on what you did accomplish that will make it a bit lighter. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's art. Who cares? It's literally art. Those are all the questions we're doing on Brettcast today, but if you ask a question on my Instagram stories at BrettP, maybe I'll put it into the next Brettcast. We'll see. With all that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, like the video. If you have a comment, critique, or joke, share, comment down below. And if you like me, my art, want to follow my journey as an artist in LA, you can subscribe. It's a fun time here. And I think that's the end of the video, y'all. That's the end of the video.